I made this little video to kind of give you an idea of just how lucrative selling used books on the internet can be, whether you're doing it part-time or full-time. It can be an enjoyable hobby or an enjoyable vocation, a business to be involved in. Last Friday, which would have been September the 10th, 2010, it was a beautiful day here in Michigan. My wife and I were on the way to the grocery store, and we decided, because it was such a nice day, we'd stop at a couple of yard sales just to see what was going on. So it took us about 20 minutes. We stopped at 3 yard sales, and we purchased 11 books. We paid a total of $6.25 for those books. I listed them on Amazon later that day for $84.30. One of the books actually sold the day following that first listing. Now, realistically, that $84.30 value is only good if the books sell, and it's entirely possible that all those books won't sell. But it already, with just the one book selling for $4 and some cents, we've already got 2/3 of our investment back. This is one of the books we paid 25 cents for, and we've listed it for $2.95. This is one of the clock books that we purchased for $1, and it is listed for $4.95. This is another clock book. We paid $1 for this one also. This is the one that sold the day following. I said 4 1/4, but it was actually $3.95 that it sold for. So that's better than half of our investment back. This is another 25-cent book that I have listed for $4.25 book. Now, these dummy books, I buy these anytime I can find them for under $1 because they're excellent reference books, again, for writing articles. If you're a webmaster, if you're building websites, these are some of the best reference materials you'll ever find for writing articles. And this book is, I think, from 2003, so it's not terribly old, and it stands a pretty good chance of selling. It's in really nice condition. Now, this one is the sleeper in the group, and these are the kind of books that make you smile when you come home. I paid 25 cents for this, and I'd like to tell you that I bought it because I knew it was a winner. It's a sport book, and I usually pick up sport books, because, especially if I can buy them for under $1. But I had no idea what this was worth. But when I came back and checked it, I found out that there's not a lot of these listed on the internet, but they sell from anywhere from about $29, or let me say that they're listed for anywhere from $29 to over $40. And I have this one listed at $29.95, and it is the lowest listing on Amazon. So if this one sells, that'll make that a great day. Another $1 clock book that we have listed for $5.45. A glass blowing book, and this one was in really nice shape. A little wear to the dust cover, but the book itself is in very nice shape. Paid $1 for it and have it listed for $11.45. Again, one of the lowest priced listings on Amazon. Now, as I mentioned before, not every book is a winner, and I bought this one for 2 reasons. First of all, because the subject interests me. This looks like a book I'd enjoy reading when I have nothing else to do, and plus it was in a box. A guy had a box full of books for 25 cents a piece. I found 3 I wanted. I need another to make it an even $1, and so I picked this one up. And true enough, when I checked it, it really doesn't have any resale value. But it'd be interesting to me because I think it'll be a good read, and then I can donate it to the thrift stores. This is another interesting little book. We paid $1/4 for this one. I have it listed for $2.45. It's not going to pay off the mortgage, that's for sure, but it's an interesting read, and it's interesting to me because at one time in my past I was a blacksmith and worked with horses. So for 25 cents, I don't know where I'd get that much entertainment. This is another book from the 25-cent box that we found. Gone with the Wind is a popular book. I don't know how much chance this one has of selling. It's in really nice shape. And what you're seeing there is the book is in a slip cover, which is another reason I thought it was interesting. It might have a chance of selling. And I bought it mainly because it's in such nice shape. We have it listed for $8.95. I may end up going back in if it doesn't sell in a couple of weeks and lower the price on it. But again, at 25 cents, we can't get hurt too bad. This is the last of our treasures from that little book hunt. Another clock book that we paid $1 for, and I have it listed at $9.95. I've got a good feeling about this one. I've got a pretty good idea that this one will sell. So that's pretty much it. That's what we brought home with our little 20-minute adventure, and it'll be interesting to see in a week or two exactly what that does for us. While we're on the subject of books, I want to show you a place where you can go and check the current value of books. And most books written after about 1968 have what's called an ISBN number, International Standard Book Number. And it's usually either a 10-digit number or a 13-digit number, something new they've just come out with in the last few years. Now, if you go to check a book and it only has 9 digits, simply put a 0 in front of it and you should get the information. So you'll always, not always, but most of the time you'll find this ISBN number on the back of a book up above the scan. If you don't find it there, you can look inside the book behind what's called the title page, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute. When you open a book, one of the first pages you'll come to is the title page. Now there's also something called a half title page. That will be a page that comes up first, and across the top it'll probably just have the title of the book. And then when you go on to the next page, that's the title page. It'll have all the information about the author and the publisher and that business. And then when you turn that over and look at the back side, this is normally what you'll see. Information back here. You can find a lot of information about the copyright date, how old the book is. You can get the book number off of it, and this is what we're interested here. This is the ISBN number. You'll see it listed down here normally. Most books, as I say, after about 1968 will have ISBN numbers, and ones that don't, you can still check them by just using the title and the author. So let's take just a couple of minutes and I'll show you a place where you can go and check the value of books. It might give you an idea. You probably have books laying around your house that you've forgotten about that have value. So let's take a look and see just how you go about determining the value of some of these. This is a site called Adall, and you can reach it by going to adall.com. And this is one of the best sites on the internet to find the current value of what the books are being listed at. And normally you'll click on Use Books, and now you can search your book by putting in the title and the author, some keywords or the date at the bottom. But usually if it's a newer book, you're going to search by ISBN. So let's do a search here and see what we find. Alright, I've typed in the ISBN number of a book. We just click on Find the Book and let it go up and do its work. And when the page opens, it tells us that there are 18 titles listed. That means there are 18 people who have listed books at maybe Amazon or Abe or Libris, a number of different book places, or on their own website. So let's look down and see what we can find about this book. You can read over here under the description. Normally it'll give you the year, the publisher, and some other information. And also, I'm distracted now because I'm sitting here looking at another computer I have open, and we just sold that glass-blowing book that I mentioned earlier. We'll show you that here in just a minute. At any rate, you'll see that this book is listed for prices for $26.69, $29.66, $29, $29, $29, $29, $30, and it goes up to about $53. Now, what you have to realize on here is books, as with anything, have a value that is only what someone will pay for it. So someone can come in here and say, I've got a book and I think it's worth $53, and it may very well be, as to a book collector if he's collecting them. But if he's a bookseller, that book is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So if you're looking for a value of your book, it's a pretty good idea to come in here and maybe take a mid-range. It's not necessary to be the lowest price. Somewhere in the middle is fine. So this is a great place to find your value. Now let's take a quick trip over to Amazon and see what this book looks like listed on Amazon. Alright, I've opened up the Amazon search page. I've simply typed in the ISBN number and click on Go, and that should bring up a page here that tells us that there's 9 of them, all used, and the lowest price is $29.91. Let's just click on here once and see what comes up. Okay, here's the $29.91 from International Books, $29.95 from PH9, and this is the best listing on here, I think. $29.95 from some guy named Pothole Country. That's my wife and I. So you can see that we're not the highest, and we're not the lowest, but you look at the lowest price one here, it says moderate wear to cover. The next one says it's on the new side of light new. The book is very clean and clear, and our condition is mint condition. That means that it's almost just like the way it came from the publisher. So for an extra few pennies, if someone is really looking for that book, we have a good chance of selling it. So that's good news. Now just let me take another quick seconds, a few minutes of your time, and let's look at the sales. And I want to show you that as we were sitting here making this video, we sold the glass blowing book. Give me just a minute. When you log into your seller account at Amazon in the back office, this is what you'll see. And you'll see we've had 3 sales in the last 7 days. So if we click on this, we'll be able to see what those are. And you can see here that in the last 7 days we've sold 3 books. This is that American clock book I told you about. Okay, it sold on September the 13th, $345. And this is the glass blowing book. It sold on September 16th at $920. And now this is Pacific time, and I'm in Eastern time, but so it came in while I was making this video. Now let's take a look and see if it lists the price on here. Alright, and this is what it looks like when you get a sale. It tells you what the book is, order number, and then this was the condition that I put on. As a dust jacket, has minor wrinkling along top edge, otherwise book is like new. It sold for $11.45, and it's asked for standard shipping, and Amazon pays you $3.99 for standard shipping. So not at all bad. So that's close to $20 from our $6.25 investment. So as you can see, not all books are winners. Not every day is a good day, but it's really tough to have a real bad day in the book selling business. So thank you very kindly for watching the video, and stop by often, and we'll show you some more.